folks, welcome to Economic Observations. My name is Chris. Today is August 2nd. Thank you so much for watching. To all who have made donations, who have liked, commented, or subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. This video is sponsored by the Tanzania School Fdn, a nonprofit near and dear to my heart. There are links in the description to learn more, and we sell some really cool artwork if you're into original canvas art on our site. Check it out. All right, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about average CEO compensation and how much it has grown over the past 3 decades. Since 1978, CEO compensation has grown 940%. Yet, in 21 states, the average minimum wage is $7.25. If you divide the average CEO's salary, which in 2020 was $16 million, by every hour of the year, and that's 8,448 hours, the typical CEO earns $16,058 an hour. Now, granted, many CEOs don't work 24 hours, 7 days a week, and yet that's how much they would get paid if they did. Here are some interesting tidbits. So we went back to 1978, where the average CEO made about 30% more than the average worker. And in 1979, the federal minimum wage was $2.90. By 1980, the minimum wage was $3.10. In 1981, it went up to $3.35. And in 1988, it went up 90 cents to $4.25. And as you can see, over time, CEO compensation has skyrocketed way past any workers' compensation. How did we get here? The skyrocketing CEO pay levels have nothing to do with improved managerial performance. Instead, these massive paychecks reflect a rigged system that channels corporate resources to the top of the corporate ladder, while those in the lower rungs face the greatest risks. Sadly, these obscene disparities are continuing during the pandemic. During the 2008-2009 Great Recession, we thought that policymakers would finally take action on the runaway executive pay. Well, we know it didn't happen. Executives chasing huge bonuses has just crashed our economy, leaving millions of Americans homeless and jobless. What I'm trying to get at, the typical workers' compensation only rose 12%, and the CEO's compensation has grown 940%. And how did this happen? And how did we let this happen? I blame Congress for letting this happen. Everybody has someone in their back pocket. Red, blue, I don't care what they are. It's all corrupt. Chief executive officers in the largest firms in the U.S. earn more today than they did in the mid-1990s, and many times what they earned in the 1960s and late 70s. They also earn far more than the typical worker, and their pay has grown much more rapidly. Rising CEO pay does not reflect rising values of skills, but rather CEOs' use of their power to set their own pay. And this growing power at the top has been driving the growth of inequality in our country. Listen, we all know that the inequality is just unbelievable. We have the eviction moratorium, which just ended Saturday at midnight, and we have the people on the lowest 10% with no homes. We have people that have no jobs due to something that they had no control over. Maybe they have no jobs because their small business that they worked for, which they got $7.25 an hour, the bottom 10% are homeless or going to be soon. We know that the can of evictions, the can we kicked down the road, well, the road stopped. There's a wall at the end. And those people who hit the wall have nowhere to live. We also know that the other can for unemployment is going to end on September 6th. And that can, too, is going to stop. And there's millions of more people, 7.5 million people, who won't be able to pay their rent after losing that $300 boost. The pandemic is not over. Small businesses who are over leveraged with debt, PPP loans and EIDL loans and whatever it is, they're going to end up closing for good this time. And there's going to be no bailouts. But the CEOs at these mega corporations and all these S&P 500 companies, they're all making millions of dollars. And the small business, the restaurant that won't be full come October, is going to have to close again. The little trampoline place that holds birthday parties for kids or laser tag, they're not going to be open anymore. They're going to be gone. You know what else might be gone? The commuter rails all across the country, the buses and the trains that take people from the suburbs into the cities. You know why they're going to be gone? Because no one's riding them. There's going to be a tsunami of problems because of this. I'm not saying that we should print more money and bail out more people. I'm not saying, but we did it to a point, and we're letting it expire in the worst possible time. And there is no good time, but you think we would do it when things were back, and things are far from back. Things won't be back to where they were for years. And last year, when we had this robust economy, sure, people were putting new kitchens in their house, new vanities in their bathroom. They were putting new flooring in, or new carpets, or building a deck, or buying cars. But those are once in 10-year expenses, maybe 20-year expenses. They're not going to be doing it every day or every year. And now, in order for the economy to fully recover, it needs people to go out and spend money. We are a service-driven nation. We need people to go to concerts, and we need people to go to restaurants and ride the trains and the buses and the subways and the Ubers and the taxis and whatever else. And without all of that activity, the economy is going to suffer. I know they say, oh, they expect this GDP and they expect this. I'll tell you what I expect. We saw the price of lumber skyrocket because of demand and lack of supply. And now those lumber prices are coming crashing down. And we're going to see the same thing with housing. And those BlackRocks and Vanguards, well, they're going to be nowhere to be seen, because they don't want that inventory when things are going down. Those builders who are building those houses that people comment on in their neighborhoods, 300 houses, those builders are paying premium for the lumber. They're paying the all-time high cost. And what happens when the price of the homes comes crashing down and they lose millions of dollars? That's what I see happening. It's a supply and demand. The demand won't be there because people are saying no to those high prices, and the prices are going to come down. We're in for some strange times. I can see the housing market start turning already in the Massachusetts area. And when these landlords get all these people out, they want out of the landlord business. And when the mortgage forbearance ends, a lot of homes are going to go on the market. And people might disagree with me and say, oh, no, it's booming, booming, booming. Can't boom forever. And there's going to be some repercussions. All this stimulus that was out there is going to dry up. The SBA is working really hard on the last EIDL loans and the EIDL targeted grants. Once that's over, it's over. There's no more. And then unemployment ends on September 6th, and that's the end of it. Just wait and see. It's going to be a long, dark winter, folks. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit subscribe or like this video, and I'll be back soon. Have a good day.